tool, or you could even just use Notepad if you really wanted to. It's that easy to change the game and make the game what you want.
Awesome.
Coolest.
I don't want to interrupt, but we got loads of questions from the chat. So, Shades, why don't you take the next question, and I'll sort out the questions from the chat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was reading the chat, so okay.
Okay, we can do it vice versa. You can take the questions
I
from the
take a
chat.
question from chat, and you will get one from Mr. Sobius.
All right.
What are the lowest recommended computer settings to be able to play?
That's a really good question, because at the moment the game isn't finished, and that means that its performance is not quite where we want it to be. The frame rate is not what we want it to be. And so at the moment you might need a beefier machine than you eventually will to play the game. But our technical director here, who's called Max McGuire, and he's the man who wrote the engine, has a computer that is probably, it's getting a bit old now. It's getting a bit old. It's got a Core 2 Duo in it and a NVIDIA 8800 GT. So obviously that was really cool back in the day, but it's actually getting on a bit now, and it's definitely quite weak. And we are trying to benchmark the game on that. He plays the game on that. He works on that machine, and that's the base case that we want the game to be, running very smoothly at, say, 1280 by 720 with all the graphical options on. That's what we want. So this game is definitely intended to be a very accessible game in terms of performance. You won't need a monster Crysis 3 rig to play this game very smoothly and at the maximum graphical settings.
Cool. We got one more from Pocketlight also. The obvious question from him is, are there any flashlights in it?
Flashlights?
Yeah,
flashlights.
Yes, there are absolutely, and you need them, because one of the things the aliens can do is turn out the lights. So we have a completely dynamic lighting system which Spark enables, and it means the aliens can get into a room, cut the power, and make the room entirely pitch black. And that means you need to turn on your flashlight. So there are indeed flashlights in the game.
Cooler. Yeah, we saw that also. You show us, I don't know if we really show it on the stream, but you show that you can actually, crush the electricity and the power in special rooms, and then you would be pitch black, as you said.
In every room.
In
every room you cut the power. And doing so obviously gives the aliens a great advantage, and that is that they can see in the dark and the Marines can't, but also it turns off all the power to Marine structures. For example, it disables their ability to spawn. Their spawning structures will be turned off. Their infantry portals, their armories will be turned off, so they won't be able to get ammunition and health from those armories. So it's a really intense tactical move that the aliens can make.
Cool. David.
And also Hamsternator, I don't know if you remember him, he's my editor. You met him. He said he wanted me to tell you that he actually played it since you guys spoke, and he still loved the Skulk.
Oh, fantastic. And awesome. And anyone watching can actually get into the beta if they really want to. The game isn't finished, so definitely not recommended if you're not willing to see a game that doesn't quite fully work yet. But if you're interested in seeing a game before it's finished, you can get into our beta at naturalselection2.com. So anyone can try out that Skulk, and it's a thrill to hear he's still enjoying it.
Yeah, that's great. So that's if you missed it, we probably put up the link soon in the screen, so you can go in and check out the beta. I think that's really nice of you.
Yeah, it's naturalselection2.com.
Yeah,
I think.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. And the reason that people can buy into our beta is it's threefold. The first is that we were funded by people pre-ordering and so getting access to the beta. The second is that all our beta testers, we've had about 40,000 people pre-order, and all these people contribute to our balance statistics, to our bug reporting, to our crash reporting, to everything that allows us to create this game and make this game better. We get huge amounts of feedback from the community, and also with everyone who's in the beta, and as well everyone who gets the game when it is released, you get all the tools with the game. So when I say tools, I mean the map editor, the scripting tools, the animation tools that we use to make the sequence of animations, for example, for a Marine to hit something with his rifle. So all of that comes with the game, and when you get it, you can then create content. And we've had people, for example, create maps for us, create spectator modes for us. It's definitely yeah, so much comes with the game, and that's why we offer it. And the third reason is just because it's awesome for people to be able to play a game before it's finished. It's fun.
Yeah, of course.
And then obviously, I mean, the community is really important to you guys.
Hugely, immeasurably important. The game wouldn't be here without community involvement. It just wouldn't exist.
Mm.
Yeah, we get the same question as you already answered, but probably Joggy missed it. And he's talking about that there was just only one man that fixed the engine for the game, and yeah, that is true, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, one guy.
And he also asked, how long did it take?
Well, because
and is it done?
Because it's not finished. I suppose you could say that it's taken 4 years. It was, in a state where it could turn on the lights and have gravity and have basic networking about 2.5 years ago. But it's definitely not finished, but it's almost there. In fact, it will actually. That's a terrible way for me to answer the question. Because post-release, we're still going to be working on this game indefinitely. So there's always going to be things added to it, and more content added and more features added to the engine. New graphical options. We're even adding new graphical options as we speak. So. Yeah, there's so much more to come.
I mean, for me and Shades, and I think I'm speaking for most of the gaming community, it's great to hear that you guys are like, okay, so when we're gonna release the game, we're not gonna like just leave it there and have a nice time. Thanks for the money. You got like passion and you got love for the game, and you're gonna continue to build on it. And I think that's really an important aspect. Most game developers today are like our way or the highway. We don't need to drop any names, but we can see from experience that a lot of games that said that, oh, this game is going to be this and this game is going to be that, and yeah, it's for the esport, didn't work out.
Yeah, it is tricky. I mean, game development is a business, and there are ways of doing business, and we've chosen this way because we can't imagine doing it any other way. If we hadn't done it this way, as I said, the game wouldn't exist. But things like game balance. So much community feedback goes into game balance. Entire abilities have been removed. Entire resource systems have been removed and new ones added because of community feedback. Abilities have been changed. As I said, content has been added that just wouldn't have been there. For example, our spectator system, which is so important to the whole esports scene and all of that. It just wouldn't happen without the community. I mean, we even hire people from the community. I was hired because I was a community member, literally, just doing videos. And we've hired programmers from the community, mappers. So it's everything.
Yeah. But and there is one thing that I just a little short moment there, David. I'm sorry, but I'm so focused on like spectating because there is part of what's happening on this channel when we not are live streaming Momentum. We are streaming esports games like StarCraft or Trackmania or whatever, and that is so important for us to know that you have a good spectator mode, and we talked about that, but can you just short brief about what that is and how?
I sure can. So the spectator system in natural selection works like this. When you join a game, you can choose any of 4 options. And when I say join a game, you literally get put into the game world, into a room we call the ready room. And inside the ready room, you have the option to either run into the marine side, to the alien side, to random, or also there's a spectator door, or it might be a hole in the floor. It could be anything in the room. So you run into that and fall in or run in, and then you get into spectator mode. And the spectator mode allows you to free look anywhere on the map. It allows you to chase, follow players. It will eventually allow first-person spectating, though that's actually quite a technical challenge for us, and we haven't been able to do it yet. It also allows you to look down on the map with a top-down view because it's, as I said, it's a real-time strategy, so you can watch it from that real-time strategy view. And the actual overlay, for example, I mean, what makes the StarCraft 2 spectator scene so great is the fact that overlay allows you to see stats like structures under construction and units in production, resource statistics. That's the kind of thing that our community has added to the basic spectator system that we built, and that's allowing us to have competitive matches. For example, we have them every weekend, twitch.tv/naturalselection2 and on youtube.com/naturalselection2hd. So it's definitely happening, and it's really exciting. And who doesn't want to watch games? I love watching StarCraft and watching Counter-Strike. So that's something we really want to pursue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
So
I got two more questions from my part. My first question is, as a Marine, I mean, you play as humans and you play as the alien hive, but as a Marine, do you feel more exposed and hunted than when you're playing as an alien? If you know what I mean, the balance kind of...
Yeah, well, personally, I really do feel that. As an alien, the map is your playground. You can run on, I mean, as a Skulk, especially the basic alien that you start as, the Skulk can run all over the ceilings, walls, through ventilation systems that most other larger life forms and humans can't get into. It's really a playground where you can leap across rooms and run around everywhere. A Marine, though, you're often in, say, a mining facility. It's quite dark. It's foreboding. You're on the ground. You're walking or running. And you don't have that kind of freedom of mobility. And that means that the aliens really can do some great ambushing. And what you often find is that Marine teams, to be successful, must move in teams. They must move in squads. They must stick together so that when the aliens do appear, they can cover each other, get aliens off each other. Whereas the aliens will often operate very effectively individually as hunters, moving all over the map. And it's definitely a unique play style for both teams. It's not, you can't approach playing as the aliens as you would playing as Marines. It just won't work for you.
Cool.
it's
Shay,
awesome. Yep.
Shades, do you have any question before I drop my last question and take it to the last questions in the chat?
For me, I think that I'm good
Okay.
right now, and
Okay.
yeah.
So you guys are coming to Gamescom, if I'm not mistaken?
We are indeed coming to Gamescom. In fact, the shows we're definitely coming to over the next couple of months are Resd in Brighton, which is just a small one, new one happening in
cool.
the UK. We're coming to Gamescom in Germany, which is very, very exciting. We hear that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And we're also going to PAX Prime in Seattle.
Okay, so PAX, Gamescom, and the newly started thing in Brighton.
Yes.
No DreamHack Winter.
Actually, well, we haven't decided yet, but we're actually really considering our dream right now is actually do a tournament at DreamHack Winter, a proper tournament with, a prize and a setup and all of that. That's our real dream, and it just depends on whether we can get the game in a good enough state that enough people purchase it, we get enough people coming in, and if we do, then we absolutely want to do a DreamHack Winter tournament.
Yeah, we'll try to help you make that happen.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Indeed, yeah, because we really want this to be an esport game, and for all the other guys and girls who haven't seen it and played it to experience it on DreamHack Winter.
Yeah. Download the beta.
Yeah, do it. Go to naturalselection2.com and
you can check it out.
buy the game. You can buy the game. You can pre-order the game, right?
Yes, you can pre-order the game. That gives you access to the beta now. It also gives you the full game for free on release, and it also gets you all our mod tools, the map editor, as I was talking about before, all the tools we use in the office to create the game, things like the cinematic editor, all of that comes with the game when you pre-order. Again, the game isn't finished. If you join the beta, you're joining a game that's not finished, and while it is a lot of fun, our beta testers are the people that report bugs, and generally you'll encounter bugs and you'll encounter bounce issues, but personally I find that to be fun because you get to see a game being built from the inside. Just don't assume that if you buy the game on naturalselection2.com right now that you're getting a game that's completely and utterly finished and polished, something like Battlefield 3 or something like that.
Battlefield 3. Lol. Anyway, me and Andreas will catch you at Gamescom, of course. We're going there, so
Definitely.
We'll have an interview and some cool stuff for our viewers. And before we let you go, we got any more questions from the chat?
Yeah, no more than that we have already talked about.
There's one that really stands out at me actually from Pocket Light. Can I answer that question?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I know it's kind of rude for me, but Pocket Light asks, will you provide updates for the spectator mode as StarCraft 2 has done since it's been released? The answer to that is absolutely yes. We already update it on a regular basis. A, we add stuff to the spectator system ourselves here in the office, and B, our community creates updates all the time, and we patch the game on a bi-monthly basis at the moment, so twice a month, and that will continue, maybe at a slower pace after release. We'll still be adding things, and the community will still be adding things.